Good day, everyone. This is Himyu, and today we'll be discussing the action fantasy film, The Monkey King 2. Prepare yourself for some spoilers. Sometime in the distant past, a holy monk named Tang set out on a perilous journey to retrieve the scriptures from the West, passing by the Flower Mountains with his two disciples, unaware that a monkey demon named Wukong had been trapped inside the rocks for over 500 years. The people, however, quickly run into trouble when they are pursued by a massive tiger, which eventually traps the humans in a corner. The disciples attempt to save their master by abandoning the horse, but the gullible monk insists on saving the animal as well, causing the people to abandon the holy man instead. Tang is forced to begin reasoning with the flesh-eating creature and attempting to gain the animal's sympathy, but the tiger does not understand Chinese and begins singing the man furiously towards the cave entrance. Tang, fortunately, manages to hide inside for the time being, but soon notices the monkey demon trapped within the rocks, who tells the man to rip off the talisman immediately to save their lives. When the monk realizes the tiger is about to enter, he has no choice but to remove the charm, causing the entire mountain to shake violently as the monkey demon begins to break free from the rocks, causing a massive explosion. This frees the monkey, who joyfully jumps around the rocks, but the massive tiger has also survived and begins attacking Wukong furiously. The creature, however, is no match for the monkey demon, who quickly grabs the enemy's tail and throws the tiger into the sky with incredible force. Wukong quickly summons the golden staff, which flies towards the monkey like an asteroid, allowing the main character to grab onto the golden pole, which increases his powers even further. Wukong manages to strike the tiger right in the stomach as he pushes the monster towards the earth and crashes directly onto the ground, stopping the tiger from attacking again. The man notices this and is shocked by the monkey's ungodly abilities, but the demon leaps towards him and begins examining the holy monk. The gods instructed Wukong to protect the man on his journey to the west, but Tang refuses immediately after witnessing the demon's horrific powers. This causes the monkey to rejoice, believing that he is finally free, before rushing away towards the horizon. However, a magical crown emerges from the monk's belongings and flies towards the monkey demon, forcing Wukong to return to the holy man, who orders the human to remove it immediately. The monk notices this and begins reading the writings on the magical object, causing the monkey great pain, but Tang continues chanting the words as if he were inside a karaoke machine. Wukong is forced to smash into the rocks, finally halting the human's horrifying vocals, while the Monkey King grabs the man with rage. Their debate is cut short when the Goddess of Mercy appears inside the sky and informs the demon that the only way to remove the crown is to first obtain the scriptures from the West. When the monkey hears this, he rushes towards their destination, launching through the sky with blinding speed, eventually landing on the ground, only to find himself right back where he left off. The holy man explains to the demon that they must travel to the west without using any powers, or else the journey will be considered incomplete by the gods. However, the people are unaware that danger has already arrived, as a massive dragon leaps from the water and charges directly at them, devouring their horse in the process. This causes the monkey to launch towards the monster in an attempt to reclaim their horse, but he is instead grabbed by the dragon and thrown away like a flying ragdoll. Fortunately, the monkey recovers quickly and charges back at the enemy, holding onto the giant monster and slamming the dragon downwards, causing the creature to crash to the ground. The demon rushes towards the dragon, demanding that the creature return his mount as he grabs the giant monster and slams it with tremendous force. This quickly transforms the entity into a horse, who promises to become a disciple of the monk as well, assisting the man on his journey west. At the same time, a father and his daughter are closing up shop in a nearby city, but they are interrupted by an unexpected visitor, who appears to be the infamous skeleton demon known for devouring small children. However, before the creature can take the young girl, his followers are attacked by giant monsters from the outside, and they are immediately killed by the demons. It quickly becomes clear that these creatures are the true followers of the skeleton demon, who immediately begins eating the imposters to avenge their master's name. Soon after, a mysterious cloud of white smoke enters the room, transforming into a woman named Bae, who reveals herself to be the true skeleton demon. She approaches the imposter and removes his mask, revealing that he is nothing more than a mere human using her name to kidnap the girl. This enrages the demon, who devours the man's energy and abandons him to die, while her minions approach the father and his daughter and kill them as well. The skeleton demon eventually leaves the room, returning to her castle in the mountains, where no human dares to enter. However, the woman's time as a demon is quickly coming to an end as her reincarnation date approaches, but she soon notices from her magical mirror that the holy monk is approaching her and plans on devouring the man to finally obtain immortality. At the same time, Wukong and his master have arrived at a desolate location, and the monkey begins to suspect something is wrong as he begins scanning the area for treacherous demons, only to see a swarm of women running towards them out of nowhere. Soon after, a man who appears to be from a Korean soap opera approaches the crowd, looking for directions, but Wukong quickly realizes that he is actually a demon in disguise. This causes the monkey to strike the stranger, causing the creature to revert to his true form, which is revealed to be a pig demon named Beiji. Surprisingly, the enemy is not alone, as a blue giant known as Wu Jing emerges from the sands and attacks the Monkey King furiously. The demon, on the other hand, is clearly no match for the main character, who quickly begins to overpower the enemy as well. Beiji notices this and transforms into his demonic form, which turns out to be a massive war hog charging directly at the monkey, but instead knocking away his own teammate. This enrages the pig monster even more, and he rushes to attack again, but crashes into the walls, knocking himself out in the process. The monkey notices this and rushes to fight the blue monster, quickly capturing him and kicking him to the ground as he forces the demons to surrender. The demons were told by the goddess of mercy to accompany the holy monk, just like the main character, but the Monkey King refuses to believe them and threatens to kill them right away. Tang notices this and immediately attempts to stop Wukong, while telling his disciple that killing is wrong, but accidentally pushes the demons down the mountain, almost murdering them in the process. What they don't realize is that they are being watched by the skeleton demon, who is conjuring up an evil plan to capture the Monkey King's master inside her magical mirror. The next morning, the group set out for a remote forest, where heavy fog obscured their vision and prevented them from progressing. Surprisingly, a path appears in front of their eyes. While displaying a remote house in the distance, Wukong notices that the location is filled with demonic energy. They are unaware that the skeleton demon has transformed herself into a human. She intends to deceive people by disguising herself as a helpless old woman. Soon after, the team enters the mysterious house and meets the old lady, who pretends to be terrified of Tang's monstrous disciples. The monk notices this and goes to comfort her, but the woman seizes the opportunity and casts a powerful illusion over the people's eyes, preventing them from noticing her magic. The old lady eventually welcomes the group into her home, but the pig demon is only interested in the woman's daughters and offers himself as their husband before going outside to look for the girls like a simpleton. Tang notices this and immediately orders Wu Jing to pursue the pig demon, while the Monkey King is still irritated by the magical dust inside his eyes. When the old woman notices this, she tells the monkey to go wash his eyes in a nearby lake, but Wukong refuses to abandon his master. This causes the demon to draw his golden staff, form a magical circle around his master, and tell the monk not to leave the area before fleeing to the lake. However, the holy man chose not to listen to his disciple and began walking towards the old woman to thank her for allowing them to stay, unaware that she was planning an ambush from behind. At the same time, the Monkey King arrives in the forest and tries to clean his eyes with water, but nothing seems to work. With no other option, the demon decides to spit a massive ball of fire in his face, burning the evil magic from his eyes. This allows Wukong to see through the enemy's deception as he rushes towards the old woman to end her life, causing her to faint, but he quickly notices that the demon is actually attempting to flee. The Monkey King eventually chases the enemy outside as he rushes to kill the treacherous demon, but Bai manages to vanish right in front of his eyes while attempting to ambush the monkey from behind. Fortunately, Wukong is able to retaliate just in time, but the enemy quickly changes her battle strategy and begins charging towards the monkey with blinding speed, eventually disappearing. The main character realizes he's been duped and rushes back to the house, while the skeleton demon has returned to the old woman's body and is attempting to attack the master immediately. Wukong, on the other hand, charges forward and sends the demon flying across the room, while Tang is taken aback by his disciple's violent action as he sees the old woman dying on the ground. The main character approaches the demon slowly to finish the kill, while the monk shouts for him to stop, but the monkey refuses to listen and strikes the woman right on the head. This enrages Tang, who begins chanting the words on the magical crown, causing the Monkey King tremendous pain. The man, however, is unaware that Bai is still alive as she watches Wukong suffer and crash repeatedly against the walls, eventually falling unconscious as a result. The skeleton demon eventually returns to her castle after they fail to capture the holy monk, but the woman is not so easily deterred. At the same time, Wukong is contemplating his punishment on top of a mountain, but Tang eventually arrives and apologizes to his disciple for what happened. However, the man does not want the Monkey King to kill any more people because he believes that all lives in this world should be protected equally. The people decide to continue their journey the next morning as they eventually arrive in a large country surrounded by numerous mountains. When the group finally enters the crowded streets, they notice the walls covered in posters of missing children, all of whom appeared to have been abducted by the skeleton demon. Soon after, the team arrives at the king's castle, where he greets the people with a massive party and tells the holy monk about their struggle with the evil skeleton demon who is killing all their children, while pleading with Tang to assist them in slaying this malevolent entity. What the people don't realize is that the skeleton demon has already entered the castle, enraged at the king for spreading a slew of lies. However, before the woman can finish speaking, she is abruptly interrupted by soldiers from the side, prompting her to attack the people, killing them like insects while demonstrating her incredible powers. The skeleton demon eventually approaches the holy man and assures him that she is not interested in consuming his flesh, while revealing that she only wants to speak with the Monkey King before quickly fleeing and causing Wukong to pursue her. The two eventually arrive at a secluded building where the woman lays on her bed, assuring the monkey that she has no intention of fighting him right now. Surprisingly, the demon claims that she wants to assist the main character in removing the golden crown from his head, as the woman pities Wukong for living a life like a circus monkey, forced to do humiliating tricks while being constantly punished by his master. However, the skeleton demon offers to slay Tang for Wukong so that he can finally be free, and tells him to lure his master away from the castle to be killed. As she quickly disappears towards the sky, the Monkey King eventually returns to the monk, but refuses to reveal anything about their conversation, instead telling Tang that the demon wishes to meet with him alone. Surprisingly, the monk immediately agrees because he wishes to change the woman's heart and decides to meet the skeleton demon despite her evil intentions. Soon after, the holy man is approached from behind by a cold hand, which quickly reveals itself to be the evil demon. But just as she is about to kill the human, a second Tang emerges from the building, accusing the original of being the monkey. This causes the woman to realize she has been duped, and she attacks the people furiously, only to be stopped by the Monkey King, while the other disciples have arrived to join the fight as well. It is quickly revealed that this was the main character's plan from the beginning, which infuriates the skeleton demon, who summons her minions to the location, transforming into their horrific forms and devouring the pig demon in a single bite. The people notice this and immediately begin fighting the enemy, while Beiji eventually escapes the demon who devoured him as he travels to help his friends on the other side. At the same time, Wu Jing manages to keep the giant snake monster at bay. As he eventually grabs the enemy, breaking the creature's neck, he saves his master from the enormous vampire and drops him to the ground. However, the monk is quickly abducted by a mysterious man, while the disciples desperately search for their master. Fortunately, Wukong eventually notices that the monk has been taken underground. Tang is quickly revealed to have been brought to a dungeon by the king's men, where he discovers that numerous children are imprisoned in the cells. The king soon enters the room and reveals that he has been drinking the children's blood for many years in order to break the curse that has been placed on his body, but he eventually realized that only the holy man's flesh can save his life. Fortunately, just as the monk is about to be killed, the people are knocked away by the Monkey King's weapon, as the demon arrives just in time to save his master. This allows the main character to finally free all of the children from this horrible place. And they eventually return to the surface, as all of the citizens begin to thank the holy monk for bringing their families back. The team finally decides to leave this city and continue their journey west the next morning. But they are surprised to see that everyone is rushing forward to give them gifts for rescuing the innocent children. However, the Monkey King quickly realizes that something is wrong when he notices that the demon is planning another ambush on his master. This causes the monkey to rush forward, knocking the girl away in front of everyone, while Tang orders the main character to stop right away. Soon after, the mother notices that her child has been injured and decides to exact vengeance on the holy monk by grabbing her knife, but Wukong recognizes the woman as the skeleton demon in disguise. This causes him to leap forward and strike her with tremendous force, killing her right in front of his master. Tang is shocked by the main character's violent actions, and the Monkey King goes to finish killing the woman's daughter. But the man quickly stops his disciple by chanting the magical words and forcing Wukong to drop his weapon onto the ground while suffering from pain. However, the monkey is not one to give up easily, and he eventually manages to re-grab his weapon while striking the child with all his might. Tang notices this and is disgusted by what his disciple has just done, telling Wukong to leave him immediately and never to return. This causes the monkey to cry as he kneels in front of his master to show his respect, eventually flying away and leaving the holy man crying on the ground. What the people don't realize is that the skeleton demon is watching them from afar, waiting for an opportunity to seize the holy monk and drag him away from his disciples, realizing they have no chance against their enemy without the Monkey King. The pig demon decides to go retrieve Wukong from the Flower Mountains, while Wu Jing plans to sneak into the enemy's castle for their master. However, when Beiji arrives at the Monkey King's home, he notices that the demon has not returned to the mountains, as he only sees the dragon armor left behind by the main character. At the same time, Wu Jing has arrived at the enemy's castle, but quickly realizes that something is wrong when countless skeletons begin to emerge from the ground, eventually forming a massive army. As the enemies eventually corner him from all sides, the man is forced to fight the monsters alone, but the fight is quickly interrupted by an object crashing onto the ground. It is quickly revealed that the pig demon has arrived while wearing the Monkey King's armor, as he rushes towards Wu Jing and joins his comrade in fighting the enemies. Simultaneously, the Monkey King reflects on his memories with his master, but ultimately decides to leave everything behind as he rushes back towards the Flower Mountains. The demon is eventually interrupted by the Goddess of Mercy, who informs the Monkey King that his journey is not yet finished. The woman reveals to the main character that their merciless enemy has already captured his master, and he is the only one with enough power to save the monk's life. Very soon, the skeleton demon begins using her powers to absorb the life energy away from the monk, while his disciples fight desperately outside the castle. But Beiji quickly senses a powerful entity approaching, as all his armors are sucked away towards the sky. The monkey demon quickly decides to join the battle, as all of the armors begin flying towards the main character, greatly increasing the demon's powers. This enables the monkey to launch his weapon at the skeleton army, completely overwhelming them as he turns the monsters into dust. Soon after, Wukong detects the monk inside the castle and rushes towards it, using his golden staff to knock the enemy away from his master. The skeleton demon is enraged, and she rushes furiously towards the main character, knocking the monkey directly onto the mountains. The Monkey King, on the other hand, recovers quickly and begins dodging the woman's vicious attacks by teleporting all over the enemy, eventually hitting the demon's face and knocking her away like a flying ragdoll. The monkey seizes the opportunity and rushes towards the monk, attempting to get his master away from this location, not realizing that the woman has summoned all of her powers, transforming into a massive skeleton monster. People notice this and try to fight the massive enemy, but they are quickly knocked back like nothing more than insects. At the same time, the giant skeleton captures the Monkey King and swallows him inside the massive creature. Fortunately, the main character escapes immediately, but the enemy quickly pulls back his master while throwing the monkey to the ground. This leaves Wukong with no choice but to fight the giant demon alone, attempting to avoid the creature's lethal attacks, but eventually being knocked away by the monster as he narrowly avoids being killed by his foe. The skeleton demon eventually throws a devastating punch at the main character, but Wukong fights back immediately, attempting to break apart the massive opponent while knocking the creature right on the head, but the enemy quickly recovers all the damages as if nothing happened. This allows the demon to throw numerous skeletons at the main character as she tries to capture the Monkey King, but Wukong manages to grab onto the monster, breaking off the creature's arm and causing the opponent great pain in the process. The demon is forced to summon all of her skeletons in order to regenerate her body. But Wukong quickly stops the enemy with his golden staff, splitting himself into numerous clones that completely surround the opponent from all sides. Soon, the monkeys charge forward, crashing into the massive demon, quickly breaking off the enemy's body and causing everything to crumble to the ground. Tang refuses to watch the woman die as a vengeful demon and decides to eventually absorb her inside his own body, saving the woman's soul. When the monkey notices this, he quickly catches his master and drags him to the ground, but he soon realizes that the monk is also dying. The people watch in sadness as Tang finally manages to purify the skeleton demon's soul while sending her to the afterlife by sacrificing himself. Despite witnessing their master's death in front of their eyes, the Monkey King refuses to abandon the monk's mission, vowing to carry the man's sculpture all the way to the west with his friends. What the people don't realize is that the Goddess of Mercy has been watching them the entire time, as she uses her magic on the holy man, gradually bringing the monk to life on the back of the Monkey King, as they continue their journey to retrieve the Holy Scriptures. So, what are your thoughts on this film? Please let me know in the comments section below. And if you enjoy my videos, please like them and subscribe for more. I'll see you all again soon.